Okay. Hi.
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 Sorry.
It's okay.
Okay.
Okay, just to make sure that we're live. Okay, so hello everyone. Good evening. Thank you for joining the session today. I'm Ahmed Dandashi, Academic Mentorship Project Coordinator at Jusoor. Following the advertisement that you've seen on Jusoor's page on Facebook this week, we're glad to announce that the session today will be dedicated for Jusoor Scholarship at UAB, Universitat Autònoma de Barcelona in Barcelona, Spain. Before I start with introducing my guests for today, I would like to remind you all that the session is recorded and we're live streamed on Qabila Group on Facebook. So you can rewatch the recorded session later on. Meanwhile, you can leave your questions in the Q&A box so the speakers can answer when they finish with the presentation. Let me introduce you to our speakers today to get to know more about the scholarship, the application process, and all the related information. I'm going to start with introducing Sarah Shedeed, the head of scholarship at Jusoor. Sarah coordinates partnerships to expand access to secondary and higher education for Syrian youth, helping them to realize their potential and contribute to the future of Syria. Also, we're pleased to host the member of FAS, the affiliated NGO of UAB, Marta Batalla, and Jusoor-UAB scholar Samar. Welcome, ladies, to the session today. Thank you for making the time to attend and participate in the session today. I'm going to start with Sarah to get to know more about the scholarship from Jusoor's position and all the related information. Hi, Sarah.
Thank you, Ahmad. And thank you very much for our speakers for being here with us and for our audience. So I will, as Ahmad noted, I'll give you a little bit of background on the Jusoor-UAB scholarship. From Jusoor side. So we have, firstly, the most important thing to start with is that this is a scholarship for master's degrees at UAB in Spain. So we have some eligible fields which are listed on our website. They include advanced English studies, nanoscience, bioinformatics, economics and business administration. They are quite diverse. And then we also have Samar's program, modeling for science and engineering, which she can tell you a bit more about later. It's important to understand also from the beginning that you should apply for this scholarship through our website. You should apply to Jusoor only first. And then if you are selected for the scholarship, you will apply to UAB. So with regard to our eligibility criteria for this scholarship, of course, you must meet the academic requirements and language requirements of UAB. Each program has different requirements, of course. Some require, for example, for the language, some require a B2 level English, some require a C1 level English. So all of this information is on UAB's website, and you can get the links directly from Jusoor's website. So you can find this online before you apply. The second, of course, is that of course, Jusoor scholarships are for Syrian students and Palestinians from Syria. So in addition, you should have a good GPA. We say 3.0 officially, but it really depends on the individual program. And we understand also that a 3.0 on the scale in the Middle East, and particularly in Syria and Lebanon, is not always the same as the 3.0 scale in Europe or in North America. So we understand that this is the case and that sometimes, like 2.8, 2.9, this kind of GPA might be accepted depending again on the program and the university's requirements. In addition, we look for candidates that have a strong record of leadership and community engagement, which is usually demonstrated through their work experience and their volunteer experience. We don't mean that you need to have a lot of experience volunteering for big NGOs and the UN and these kind of typical things that come to people's minds, but we do want to see that you are engaged with your community, that you're thinking about the people around you, that you're helping them in some way. You can talk about how you help your friends, how you help your parents or your family. This is also community engagement. And in case you have work experience, we really like to see that. Some programs at UAB require you to have some background in working in the field of study. So this is also something to check on the individual program websites. And then we also look for students who are willing to be a part of Jusoor's community and a part of FAS's community. And Marta will tell you a bit more about FAS, but on the Jusoor end, we have a very strong scholar and alumni community globally in the Middle East, in Europe, and in North America. And we have online events, we have in-person events sometimes in some locations, we have professional development, and particularly this year, we'll be offering quite a bit of professional development for our scholars and alumni. So we like to see that people are interested and excited to be part of Jusoor's community and to interact with our scholars and our alumni and our board members and our community at large. We also would like to see that candidates have a willingness and an intent to contribute to the redevelopment of Syria. We don't mean that you have to return to Syria once you finish your degree, but we do mean that you should be considering how your career can help you to contribute to the global advancement of the Syrian community all around the world. And lastly, of course, the scholars that are selected must be living in Syria, Lebanon, Jordan, Turkey, Egypt, or Iraq during the time of selection. So it's very much preferable that those who are applying are living in this region. Otherwise, I think something very important to mention is that if you already have a master's degree, you are not eligible for the scholarship. So it's important to keep in mind that this must be your first master's degree. And I think I will leave it at that. I think there are some other topics that might come up later with regard to the interview, but I think for now, maybe we can move over to Marta and have her give an introduction, please, to FAS and UAB.
Thank you very much, Sarah and Ahmad and Samar. I'm very happy to join you here and to all the audience. My name is Marta. I speak on behalf of FAS, which is the Universitat Autònoma de Barcelona Social Foundation. It's like an NGO that is on campus. I will first give you an introduction on the university, and then I'll speak about FAS. So, Universitat Autònoma de Barcelona, we call it shorter UAB. We will be saying UAB all the time. Is a public university that is located in Cerdanyola del Vallès, which is a city that is close to Barcelona, but it is not in Barcelona itself. It is important for you to know that. It is among the 200 best world universities, and also it's the second in terms of in Spain. It is in a campus, in a green area, and it has more than 40,000 students and 4,000 professors. So there's a big community here. Also, even if it is not in Barcelona, it's very close to the city. And Barcelona is the capital city of Catalonia, which is a region in the northwest part of Spain, which is like close to France. And maybe Samar can give us an insight because she's also here, but it is a very young city and known for its openness and young culture. Also a bit technological, so if you're interested in that, keep it in mind. And yes, a public university, the UAB is committed towards social justice and the equality of opportunities for its students, but also the community. And this is where FAS, my NGO, has an important role. So FAS is a university-based social organization that helps to create a UAB community that is also committed and part of an active role towards like social change and the equality of opportunities. We have several programs that are promoting social justice in general, but for students itself, we have from my department, that is the Department of Cooperation and Education for Global Justice, a program that is oriented to promote that students that are at risk in terms of displacement or in refugee situations, but also students that are living in conflict areas can continue their studies in Spain, specifically in UAB, in our university. The most important part of this project is the scholarship project, which is what unites us with Jusoor, because thanks to Jusoor, we have this opportunity today to have 2 students next year in UAB that will be from either Syria or the surrounding countries to be here on campus with us, participate in the community and take advantage of this opportunity, of course. If you want later, I can continue giving you more detail about the admission requirements and our recommendations. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Marta. Maybe Samar, if you'd like to go ahead and discuss some of your experiences, please.
Oh, okay, thank you so much. First of all, I want to thank Ahmed. Thank you, Sarah, and thank Marta for having me here. I'm very grateful for Jusoor and UAB and the FAST community for the opportunity they provided me. My name is Samar Moussa. I got a scholarship from Jusoor and with collaboration with UAB and FAST to study the master's degree in modeling for science and engineering. This master's has 4 specializations. The specialization that I chose was data science. And as you know, that data is very important nowadays. And I guess my background played a huge role to choose the master's that I wanted. I have a bachelor degree in informatics engineering, which made me more persistent to, let's say, learn about new technologies and also become an effective part of the Syrian community and also try to learn from the best universities. Basically, I would like to start about talking how beautiful Barcelona is. I was surprised and stunned, and there are a lot of places to go to. There are a lot of opportunities to learn from, and also the academic master's curriculum itself is great and amazing. So shall I talk about the curriculum, or we can also talk about the process before I started, since I started to apply, so it's both ways. I'll start now by talking about the current masters that I'm having. So basically, based on your plan and your future goals, you can go to Jusoor's website and apply to a program that might interest you. Basically, the programs are in English, and captured my interest in modeling for science and engineering. And then I went to UAB website and also searched for the career opportunities, the curriculum itself, what I'm gonna learn, what the experiences that I'm gonna have. Also, basically, there was a very interesting subject that captured my interest, which is research and innovation. So in Syria, there are not a lot research centers. So basically this one captured my interest and made me more curious to know what I'm gonna learn in this subject. And I was very happy to say that we got to meet a lot of people, a lot of CEOs, a lot of people working in research centers, people introducing us to the scope of their job, how they are actually performing in the company or in the research center, how you can be a better version of yourself, and how you can push yourself to be the best person you can be in terms of professional and academic career. And this is one of the subjects that I was really, and I'm still very much passionate about. The other subject was basically, it's in terms of specialization. So I'm sorry for the technical terms. It's about cloud computing. So cloud now is controlling basically every single aspect of each company. So it's very necessary and basic skill that you need to learn to work in any company or also research center. So I was very much interested in these two subjects, and I become very more curious. I was also stunned about the language. So right now I'm learning Spanish. I'm still in the first levels, but I'm learning Spanish, and I'm very excited to get to be a higher level in Spanish. And yeah, so basically that's in short what I'm gonna say about the academic, let's say, topics or subjects. And I can also speak about the things that I noticed as a different aspect between what I learned in college in my bachelor's degree and here. So you cannot imagine the amount of support that you might get here. So you just need to ask if you needed an assistance. So basically, if you needed an assignment, you can gather with your professor, require an online meeting, like you can go through like the assignment. If like after you've submitted it, you can also know how to like perform in the best ways, to know how to, let's say, the right solutions for every single thing you studied. So basically, you don't have unanswered answers. You will always have the answer and be more curious to learn more. And everyone here is like really there to support you. All you need is to ask the right question. And I also want to thank Marta also for her support through like the paperwork as well. And this is it for me. If you have any questions, I will be happy to answer. And thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thanks so much for sharing your experience and for the influential messages. Thank you also for Marta and Sarah for sharing the admission and the eligibility criteria with the audience. So it's time now for the Q&A part, but before we move to the questions of the audience, I would like to remind everyone that I shared the links of Qabila group on Facebook and the link of the scholarship website. If you need just to revisit the eligibility criteria, the selection process, and all the information needed on the website, then you can refer to the website. And also, if you need to rewatch the recorded session, please refer to the to Qabila group on Facebook. So now it's time for the questions of the audience. I'm gonna start with the first one. I have a question about the eligible degrees. Can we apply to degrees that are not listed at Jusoor website, but listed on the university website? Feel free to answer, Marta or Sarah.
No, you can apply only to those that are listed on Jusoor's website. Marta, is this the final list, or we might have others?
Yeah, if you want, I can give more info on that. Thank you, Sarah. Yes, so the masters that are eligible for this scholarship are those that are both official masters and public masters. So no inter-university masters are included, no Erasmus Mundus masters are included either, and they are not included those that are coordinated by other universities that are not UAB. So this makes us to have a short list. But it is true that it is also broad in terms of knowledge. You know, you have from political sciences to English studies, and then you have a big branch of technique studies and also environmental related ones. So I suggest you read carefully the admission requirements and also the content of the masters, because the masters web pages are very detailed, and you can have a lot of info from those websites. We have to confirm if this is going to be the final list, like the definite one, but it is very likely. So there won't be more masters included in this list for the moment.
Yeah, so they need to stick into the list, but
Yes.
if any major change might happen, will be updated on the website. So they have to refer to the website as well. I have a question about the admission requirements. I have a GPA of 2.7 out of 4. However, I have rich experience and engagement for more than 9 years of community development project. Would my application be considered for a scholarship? So yeah, that was for the 3.0 requirement. Okay, so you're still eligible to apply. If we're applying to similar fields,
I think maybe we'll just ask Marta to expand a little bit on that.
Sure. Thank you. So following with what Sarah said before, that it is not like the curriculums that will be prioritized, of course, are those that have a very good transcript, in like excellent transcript, but those transcripts that don't have a 3 in GPA may also be included. Again, it is very important for you to check the admission requirements of the master's webpage, because if you are selected from our side, from Jusoor and FAST side, then there will be a second board that will be the admissions board. And the admissions board is the one from the university itself. We from FAST, if we choose your application, we will, of course, support it and present it to the professors and to the master's coordinator, because you will have our support. And but it is important that when you build up your candidacy, you make sure that you meet the requirements. If you are missing some specific document in terms of support letter or an IELTS test, there might be some degree of flexibility, but it is important that if you say that you can prove something, then you are able to have like the means to, at some extent, prove it. So,
yeah, or to explain why certain documents are not there, just to provide a reason. Okay, so the other question is, if we're applying to similar fields of study, do we still have to submit a motivation letter for each degree? In my case, applied research in economic and business, or economics and business administration.
yeah, so regarding this question, even if this is a very specific question, because these masters are pretty similar, actually, I would recommend that you go in deep in the master's content and choose which of the 2 programs is best for you.
Yeah.
If you are thinking of a more professional oriented career path, after you finish your master's, then go for the business administration masters. If you want to go for a career oriented or a research oriented path in the future, then go for the other one. I would say be as specific as possible and as concrete as possible in your choices, because then you will have more chances to get your admission in the masters.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you.
Thank you. And there's a question about the interviews. Do you want me, Sarah, to leave it to the end so you can answer about the interviews, or no, you start? But someone is asking about the interviews, so to leave it to the end.
No, we can
We can
discuss
answer.
this
Okay.
now. So,
So he just needs some tips on how to perform during the interview and to be great.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
Okay, great. So once we have gone through all of the scholarship applications, we shortlist a group of candidates, and they sit for interviews with representatives from Jusoor and from FAS and UAB. So the interviews, first of all, are done in English online, and they last about 30 to 40 minutes. The interview questions are based around your perseverance, your academic goals, your career goals, why you have chosen to study what you would like to study at UAB, how your previous academic experiences relate to what you've studied, as well as how you intend to contribute to the redevelopment of Syria, since this is a major eligibility requirement. I think it's important that when you do the interviews, you're honest in your answers. We want to get to know you. We want to know who you are, what you plan to do, and that you're authentic, and then you provide evidence. Evidence is really important. We like to see, that you've really thought about what you want to study and why. It's actually very similar to what Marta just said about the motivation letters. Truly understand your program and understand what you want to do with it. And I think this makes it easier for you to give us examples of what it is that you plan to do and why. And also examples about who you are as a person. And we'll ask you, for example, about your community engagement. We want to know more about that than what you've put in the application. I think maybe Samar, if you want to speak to your experience a bit in the interview, please go ahead.
Yeah, of course. First of all, the interview was very smooth and very calming. I was really relaxed, not like most interviews. You sometimes get very stressed. And this is because Sarah and the people also who interviewed me were very nice and asked me to calm down at the beginning. This is the first thing, so no need to stress, and make sure that you're prepared well, read your application really well. Make sure that if there were anything that you wished you expressed more in your application, to just prepare yourself also in the interview that you might be asked for, but just an extra preparation. Other things that you might take into consideration is your motivation. Why did you apply? Why do you want this program? So basically, I was very sure about the career goals that I want in my life. And I was pretty sure that this program will help me achieve my goals. So basically, this idea is very important. And also to have a plan in the future that what are you going to do with this master's? This is very important. Because it's important to take into consideration that you have done some volunteer work in the past. You need also to put some light on this. So you need to know why you did that volunteer work. What did you do exactly? What were the benefits of that work? How did you feel after that? So that type of questions, just to have a clear idea about your contribution about the volunteer work. So basically for me, I started volunteering in 2018 or 2017. I started in college, and also then I volunteered with an electronic website. It's called Electronics Go. It's for engineers. So to help them to provide the Arabic content. So there was a content creation. And after that, also, I volunteered with an organization called Paper Airplanes as an admission and enrollment coordinator to facilitate the acceptance of students. So basically, all of this volunteer work helped me to feel good about myself at the beginning, because I'm doing something good. I'm helping others. So that will benefit you and also that will benefit others. And this is, let's say, about the volunteer experience. Also about the academic experience, sometimes you need to mention what did you study, how did you manage like to put some goals that will benefit also what you've studied, and why did you choose that. So basically in all aspects you need to focus on volunteer work, for also on the academic work, and you need to focus also on your goals. So basically the interview process is very smooth, but you need to make sure very much about your preparation, about how honest you are. So you need also to talk openly and honestly, and also make sure that you provide, as like, I don't know how to say it in English, but المختصر المفيد, like let's say in Arabic. So basically,
be concise with your answers.
Yes, very, very concise. Yes, to be like short, honest, but also gives the value that also the interviewers are expecting from you. So that's it.
Yeah, thank you, Samar. That was really helpful, because and in general it should be realistic inputs and logical track demonstrated in the answers, and even with the interview. We do have a question. I would answer on behalf of Sarah. Sarah, feel free to jump in. Is there any PhD scholarship? I live in Hungary and I will finish my master's at the end of June. If there's any opportunities, unfortunately, we don't have any PhD opportunities for the time being. So, but Sarah, if you need to add anything, or okay. A question for Sarah in Arabic. So, what was the two? Like, feel free to answer in Arabic, Sarah. So, what was the two major courses that you've spoken about, and that are really important for research and jobs? You spoke about two major courses that are important in research and jobs. Like, the question was in Arabic.
I see.
تكلم عن اللي صاروا ضروريين بالبحوث بالوظائف.
But it's referring to the volunteering work experience, not necessarily.
معقول. طب الشخص إذا بعده موجود، إذا بيقدر يرجع يكتب السؤال بكون كثير منيح.
Please.
لا كنت عم جاوب صح. طيب, I'm interested in the computer vision program, which is an inter-university as stated in the UAB website, and it is not listed in the Jusoor application form. Is it possible to review the subjects in the Jusoor application form? So I guess you've already answered, but if you need to jump in again about the non-listed majors. Yeah.
No. As Marta said, you should only apply to the programs that are listed on the application.
On the website of Jusoor. I graduated in November, and until now I didn't receive the transcript of the certificate. I have only a graduation paper that shows that I have graduated from the university. Is it accepted until I receive my certificate? I guess you already answered this, so Marta, maybe to answer this question about admission.
Yes, I mean, as soon as you can prove that you have graduated from your bachelor's, and that you can prove your transcript of records, we can like take that application, and in the future you can submit the official degree.
Yeah, so they technically get like an attestation of graduation, like it's a paper at the, so this is for graduation attestation. So it works. Actually, I'm applying bachelor's degree in Wilfrid Laurier and Quebec University, but I don't have a passport. I mentioned that I don't have a passport, but I could bring one when I get when I get accepted in the first step. So should I bring the passport first?
No. No. So we understand that it's very difficult and expensive to get a passport. So on the application, we request a copy of your official ID, passport or national ID card or any other type of ID you have. You don't need to have a passport when you apply. If you're accepted for the scholarship, of course, you need to get a passport to get a visa.
Of course. So the question was for Samar. Samar was talking about two مادتين الأساسيات اللي حكيت عنهم
Yeah, of course. I was talking about like one of the most favorite subjects that I have in my master's. So I can talk about the subjects that I have in my master's, but basically the two that I mentioned were research and innovation, because in this subject you have projects to work on, and also especially because my specialization in data science, especially in Python, machine learning, and more advanced topics. But there are also other topics where you also attend talks and events for companies and for researchers who work in research centers, that they talk about their experience, their daily job tasks, how you can like what are you expected if you are going to work in a research center, or if you're going to work in a company, what are the expected responsibilities, since it's like there might be a difference than the normal job that you might see in your own like home country. It's different. Sometimes it depends on the region, like different technical stacks or things. It depends on the region. So, and the market requirements. And this is the first thing that you can take into consideration. This is the first subject. The other subject was, officially it's called distributed systems, but in the content we also had one of the sections, it was about cloud computing. We learned about Amazon Web Services, and also we worked several projects using Amazon Web Services. And the other materials were optimization and parallel programming and mathematics and big data, and also the data visualization and modeling, which is very important since I'm studying masters in data science. So basically the big focus will be on the data. So this is the answer of my question. If they have any questions, I will be happy to answer.
Yeah, hopefully. Thank you so much. So I'll take the last question, and then I'll have my own question, just to give some time for others to join. So we got already 2 questions. I have a question concerning the recommendation letters. My university provides a standard format for recommendation letter that does not state any specific information about each individual student. So is that acceptable from your side? Yeah, I mean, this is really problematic. Maybe Marta or Sarah wants to answer about the recommendation letter from the university.
I didn't really like get the question.
Yeah, so the problem is that the university gives a recommendation letter for students, but not individualized or not customized for certain students. It's kind of like a general recommendation. Is that acceptable for you or not? Very
Yeah, actually, if you check the admission requirements, like the master ones,
yeah.
I don't have all the masters like in front of me, but I don't think that there is any master that requires a specific letter from the former university giving support to the student. Like when you send your candidacy, you do it like as an individual. So this, like not having this letter will not be exclusionary. Like you will not be excluded from the application because you are missing this letter, even if it is always best to have it, right? Am I right, Sarah?
Yeah, it is. And some of the masters, I think they require like an academic reference, but it's considered something like 5% of the application. It's listed again. Please check the program website specifically to which you're applying. And then on Jusoor's end, we do ask for an academic recommendation letter, but if you can only get something that is non-specific, it's okay, just please upload that. But we at least like to have something from the university that
of course,
attests to your attendance, for example, in classes, etc.
Of course. So one more question. I just want to ask about the language requirements. So is it possible to prove English level through Duolingo, or if the bachelor curriculum is taught in English? I guess you already covered this, but if you want to jump again, and especially that each course I mean, it depends on each course. So some courses requires C1, some courses requires B2. So but even this is the case with Duolingo, right? So they have to check on the courses pages separately to check if Duolingo or other proofs can be accepted with maybe like bachelor degree taught in English or the language of instruction, and the bachelor degree was in English. So it depends on each course.
I think also the university might have blanket requirements. Marta, is Duolingo included in the English language proficiency proof?
As far as I know, it is not included.
Okay.
However, the university has a language service itself, and if it was like the case, maybe a placement test could be like settled online, so the person can have an official certificate.
Yeah. And if they prove that the bachelor degree was taught in English and the language of instruction for the university is English, is that accepted? Say like the American University in Beirut or the other universities.
I mean, at the end, the most important thing is that the person has a very high command of English, right? So if this person has finished and like passed their studies in English, for sure, we trust that this person has the level. But yeah, I think.
And does the interview play a role in this? The proficiency that you might demonstrate during the interview is an indicator for you or no? So let's say if they provided a paper that they have like B2 English and their interview was a bit different and what even less. So do they still consider it?
Yes, I mean the interview, since it is in English, it is also a place for us to know the command of English of the student. So yeah, the interview will play a role. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Should the students be graduated from the university before they apply for a master's program, or they can provide the transcript of the first semester of the fourth year and then provide the official one? Well, I guess it's a tricky question because if they're not graduated from their bachelor degree and they want to apply for the master's degree, correct me if I'm wrong. They need to at least be like on time with the duration of with the time frame of the application, or no? So let's say they're gonna be graduated in, I don't know, in a month or 2 months. So, but still problematic for you or not? So if they're not graduate, they don't have the certificate and they're not graduate, still on the last year, let's say.
I believe these candidates will not be excluded from the call, since they are supposed to be graduating in months now. But yeah, it is important to make sure that they do graduate, because if they are selected, all the process will start. But yeah, of course, people that are about to graduate are also welcome.
Yeah, maybe it's more flexible for people who graduate already, but they don't have the proof yet, like other than the attestation documents. But yeah, it's a bit tricky.
But at the same time, I mean, it is common also here in this university to admit students for the masters while they are still finishing their undergraduate degrees. So this could be a case, yes. But it is very important that they really.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. So can we provide the date of English exam if the exam after the deadline of the scholarship?
Yes, on the application, there's a place where you can put the date of your exam if you have it scheduled.
Oh, okay. So it's okay even if that was after the deadline. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so we still have like more 10 minutes and okay, so we had another question. I know it is okay, so can we know how many students are applying this scholarship in average, so just I can calculate the possibility of getting the scholarship? So it meant to be for 2 awardees, so 2 master students will be having the scholarship this year. So but you can apply anyways if the number was 1 or 2. It's about your qualification. So I do have a question for married applicants who have planned maybe to take their spouses with them or their families to Spain. Is there any problem from Jusoor or from FAS ends on this, or no? You do have different perspectives of family of family spouses.
So if you're married and or you have children, or you're divorced and you have children, whatever it is, you're still eligible to apply for our scholarships. But we do want to make clear that we do not, we meaning Jusoor, FAS, UAB, we do not sponsor any family members. So you will, you won't necessarily be able to bring your family with you. And if you do, that's completely up to you to plan and to fund. And if you are selected for an interview and you are married and you have children, or you don't, either way, if you're married and or you have children, we will ask you about your family situation and how you plan to, coordinate your time in Spain with caring for your family. And this is, of course, a very important topic.
Yeah. Sorry, could I add something? Yeah, thank you, Sarah. Another thing is that you will be in Spain with a student visa, and this student visa allows you to work as a part-time in a part-time job. However, it is like not recommendable because the masters are very demanding, and again, you will have some economic support from the scholarship. So even if this is a possibility, we strongly do not encourage students to think to both study and work at the same time while they are in Spain. I mean, and still it is true that during the second semester, maybe you look for an internship and this is part of your studies, and we will for sure be happy for you. But yeah, this is another thing to have in mind. Also regarding the visa process from university, we will give you all of the indications that are there, and we will give you like our support and have a follow-up with you during the visa application process. But the visa application is something that should be carried out by students themselves. And also in terms of the economic expenses of the visa are to be held by the students.
And this is good to mention that you support with the supporting documents and all proofs, but they should manage by their own to apply. And just to reconsider, like as you just said, Marta, that this is like a full-time master's degree, 1 year. So they need to reconsider when they apply for any other part-time jobs. And so Sarah, and you've been talking about the family plan that they have to declare during the interview, but they also have to mention this in the application, right? When they write the application, so they have to include their family plan if they're married or Okay, great.
Yes.
Is it acceptable to provide an advanced English level certificate from paper airplanes? I'm not sure what is this. Paper airplanes. Do anybody have any idea?
Yeah,
Sorry.
it's I believe they're an actual NGO. They're an NGO, but I don't think that the university might accept such a proof.
Yeah, educational opportunities by NGOs are being provided, so this is for supporting maybe, but not to prove proficiency in an official manner. Okay, can we know more about the FAST programs that support Syrian students? Yes, I mean, Marta just started maybe in the beginning, but feel free, to
Thank you.
elaborate.
Since 2016, FAST has had this project helping Syrian students, but not only, also students from different parts of the world. For 2 years in a row, we had a project to fund scholarships for students who were like activists and peacemakers and specialists in human rights. Unfortunately, next year we don't have this program, but we still have Jusoor's collaboration, and we are very happy for that. So yes, the only opportunity to come here to Barcelona and be in UAB for next academic year, that is starting in September 2023 is with the collaboration between FAS and Jusoor.
That's great. The last question, I read that the scholarship is 1 year. Do they mean that the master program is 1 year or the scholarship? It's both. The scholarship is covering the whole program, which is 1 year, full-time master's degree.
Yeah, if I can just mention, so yes, so that's correct. You know, the program will last you 1 year, and the scholarship covers you as long as throughout that 1 year.
Yeah.
So and it is important to note that the scholarship, you know, like I mentioned earlier, covers everything. So your tuition, your travel, your living expenses while you're in Barcelona. So, but it's just a matter of, you know, it's for the duration of the program, which is 1 year.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Also, actually, your visa will also be for 1 year because the visa is linked to your master program. So,
yeah. So that leads me to the last question that I have. I mean, after when they finish their master's degree, okay, Sarah and Marta earlier mentioned that okay, they're not required to go back to the country or to Syria, but if they want to stay in Spain, then this is their own plan. So they have to manage. Okay, great. So last thing that we would like to say to the audience, to the applicants, feel free, like all of you, Samar and Marta, Sarah, you want to be, we're done with our questions from the audience today, but do you have like last word that you need to say, last recommendation? Who wants to volunteer?
I think maybe I might open it to Samar and see if she has any last minute recommendations.
Yeah.
Actually, just do your research really if you are really interested in one of the programs that are provided from Jusoor and UAB and FAS. Please do your research. Make sure that this is really what you want. Try if you are writing a motivation letter like the other scholar, my friend Sidra, said, don't depend on your first draft. Just do it again and again until you make sure it's perfect. Make sure it's 1 page, as required in the application process. I just wanted to also, after doing your research, making sure that this is the program that you want, make sure that the career plans and the work opportunities really matches what you've been planning to do. Be very honest, be very clear about what you want to do, and it's never enough to like, don't give up on like if you've been struggling for a long time. Just do your research and make sure that this is the program that you want, and be very honest while you're writing it. And also, Spain is a really beautiful country. Barcelona is a beautiful country, and I have learned many things about the opportunities that I might get if I learned in a research center or did my master's thesis in a research center or in a company. So basically, it's if you are a curious person and you're considering to apply to this scholarship, just be very, very prepared, and please make sure that you're really concise and honest in everything that you say. So best of luck.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Sarah, Marta, do you have anything to add? Oh, you're done.
Thank you.
Presented already.
Yeah. Sorry. Thank you, Samar, because I think that your recommendations were very honest indeed, and they were very good. So yeah, take Samar's advice into account, because it is very good. We'll just repeat one more time, but it is very important that you read the admission requirements to make sure that you match them, and yeah, to think like why you want to follow this study path, both in a personal way, but also in a professional way. And yeah, if you are finally selected, once you are here, we will be happy to welcome you in our community and in the university. So yeah, thank you, Sarah, Samar, and Ahmad.
Yeah, thank you, Marta. Sarah, do you have anything to add? Oh no, we should wrap up.
No, I think it's all been covered by Samar and Marta, and we're really happy to have Samar and Sidra
Yeah,
as our scholars this year, and we're really looking forward to bringing on 2 more scholars to send to UAB. So take all of the advice that was given to you by Samar and Marta. Please, you can also email us if you have any questions. We can put the email in the chat, and I'll put it on the post on Facebook also, in case you have any last minute questions before you apply. And remember that the deadline is February 12th.
yeah.
Thank you, Ahmed. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. I'm gonna put the email also on the Facebook video live stream, so they can reach. So last reminder for all that, the session was recorded and it was live streamed on Qabila group on Facebook. So of course you can visit the group, and you can rewatch the session. Your questions may be answered by others and by the speakers. Thank you, Samar, Sarah, Marta, for your inputs for today and for the significant information that you provided. It was really helpful and informative. Thank you for the audience who joined the session today. We'll meet you hopefully next month with the new webinar with the new topic or new announcement. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye bye.
Bye.